Hi there everybody, Big L here. No coins today. I hope everybody had a happy time over the holidays, Christmas, Hanukkah, or just time off work when old Santy comes. So I hope everybody had a wonderful time and are now looking forward to the New Year celebrations next weekend. Purpose of this video today, just take a few minutes, something a bit different, no coins as I say. Everybody will recognise, I'm sure, this cover. That's Christopher Robin and Eeyore, Piglet, Tigger and Winnie the Pooh. Now the reason I'm going to show you this book is because it's called The Hoose at Pooh's Neuk, not The House at Pooh Corner. This is in Scots. I've been having a conversation off and on for a wee while now, but just this last couple of days, just a little chit chat with Mateo Man, and he popped a link for me to have a look at and have a little read. And among other things, there was some information about a survey that's been carried out in Scotland in recent years that says that a majority of people, even in Scotland, think that Scots is simply a dialect of English. I would argue that part of the reason is that for the last 300 years the English speaking establishment have told us that Scots is just a part of English, it's just a dialect of English, it has no value in its own right. But they've also been telling us that Gaelic has no right. I would argue that we have 3 native languages in Scotland. Obviously we have many more languages, but 3 traditional native language. One of them absolutely is English, one of them is Scots, and one of them is Gaelic. So for me, the following 3 expressions are all equally valid. Hello, Cumara Hashif, or hiya, how's it going? Or hello, how are you? They're just 3 of the languages that are traditional in my country. Scots itself is definitely not English. It developed at the same time as English did from maybe Old English, Old Germanic languages. So I just wanted to read just a little tiny bit of this to give you an idea. I hope you can see this and read along. Contradiction. An introduction is to introduce folk, but Christopher Robin and his friends have already been introduced to you and are now about to say farewell. So this is the opposite. When we spared old Pooh what was the opposite of an introduction, he said, the what oh a what? Which didn't help us muckle as we'd hoped. But luckily Hooluk kept ahead and told us that the opposite of an introduction, Pooh my Birkie, was a contradiction. And with him being offy good at lang words, I'm sure it's yawns what it is. What for we are haeing a contradiction is because last week when Christopher Robin said to me, what about yon story you were going to tell about what happened to Pooh when I chanced to say, Guy Swift like, what about 9 times 107? And after we had done that we'd yin about coos going through a yet at 12 a minute, and there's 300 in a field, so how many's left after an hour and a half? We get fair carried away with the likes of yon, and when we had be carried away more than enough, we curried down and fall asleep, and Pooh, sitting walk rife, a wee while langer in his chair, by your pally, thinks grand thoughts to himself about nothing, until he seeks his ain tay and nods his head and follows his own. The tips of his tays into the forest, and yonder where his magic explores may fewer wonder nor only I had telt you about, but now, when he wakens in the morning, they're awa afore he can get his hold of them. Who did the last yin start? Yin day, when Pooh was donner in the forest, there was 107 coos in a yet. No, you see it's awa, and I doubt it was the brawest wheel. Here are some of the other yins, all that we'll mind now, but of course it isn't a really fair wheel, because the forest was always be there, and anybody that's friendly with bears can find it. Now that's just the introduction to The Hoose at Pooh's Neuk, or as we'd say in English, The House at Pooh Corner. The reason that Scots believe that our language, or one of our languages, is simply an add-on of English is because we've been told that for 300 years, and also because of, until recently, nothing was published in Scots. Every one of us speak it every day. when you first read or open a book and look at it, if you're an English speaker who's used to being reading in English, this all looks kind of weird. But when you read it out loud, it makes perfect sense, because it's a language that we speak every day here in Scotland. Certainly in the Central Belt, where I live. So, the next time somebody tells you that Scots is just a form of English with a Scottish accent, remind them, it isnae. Scots is Scots, English is English, Gaelic is Gaelic. 3 languages, 1 country, and don't be taken in and bamboozled by the English speakers that tell you that Scots is just a dialect of English and that Gaelic isn't worth the worrying. They are. Anyway, please like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think, and until the next time, have a good one, enjoy the rest of the holidays, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheery bye the now.